Currently 10:47 in the morning on Saturday, May 11th, 2024. And this is documentation of what is the impossible occurrence that this is under any circumstances, the sun, the natural environment that I'm surrounded by. And not only am I capturing the evidence of this while I'm in the depths of my apartment, and this is what is appearing and disappearing on my ceilings and the walls this morning, just so you could see the date. This is captured this morning, 8:52 in the morning. And it's just appearing and disappearing. So I'll just show you. I just continue to take pictures while you're subject to this terrorism, while you're inside of your private space, which is the target individual where you live, where you remain, even while you're living at a third-party facilitating venue. So where you're living at the crime scene, where the entity is surrounding you and group stalking you 24/7, keeping you under surveillance. And this is evidenced through that impossible light activity that I'm capturing on my ceilings. The entity is maintaining amplification of audible activity inside of my apartment. This is through the sounds of planes and helicopter, while light activity, as you see, is occurring inside of my apartment. And then the entity is maintaining engineered light like this, as though it's the sun and that sunlight that surrounds you. It's the same engineered light that's appearing in the depths of my apartment. And this is, again, through the time frame, the direct time analysis, which you've already witnessed, the sun rise as early as 6:45 in the morning and a sunset after 7 p.m. And then you're going to look at everything that surrounds you. This is a demon-possessed population engaging in an ongoing perpetual sex offense, as I've spoken to it. And this is because they're engaging in what is massive surveillance of an American citizen inside of their private space. So every time I pull my panties down, this entire population are at the same time aware of it, and they're engaging in the psychotic behavior that you've seen, the demonic behavior, driving by, for example, 1826 Lobdell, and engineered light moving across the gate while they know that my panties are down inside of my private space. This is the psychotic and sexually motivated conduct of a demon-possessed entity that's engaging in all the elements of monitoring, and then you're mindful of all that they are maintaining joint awareness of while they're keeping you under surveillance. And an ongoing vivid illustration of that, which will never cease to be highly illustrative of what is group stalking, is the maintenance of the light source over me, and it's central in its zenith. So let me go ahead and show that while I step outside of my front door. This is the light source that's directly over me. So this is not the sun, right? And here it is right here. So just you can see, I just step outside of my apartment. I'm inside of my apartment. This is a group stalker that's living in relevant position, group stalking you as a way of life, and that's why Joan Kim is going to federal prison. She's also a documented terrorist acting with LAPD while they fly over my head as I go to work downstairs at building 1810. This is a light source and not the sun that is documented as late as while that group stalker crosses path. Lobdell, 1826 Lobdell is a third-party facilitating venue, and they're going to federal prison. All right, this third-party facilitating venue where the people of the state are routinely engaging in this criminal conduct to communicate a threat, they're doing so in concert with demons who are engaging in surveillance. And it's not a distraction. You're understanding while every single last person that you see covered in engineered light, they're going to be subject to a federal prosecution. And while you're looking at this ongoing criminal conduct at 1826 Lobdell Place, that's a demon stalking in the path that's focused on me and also knows that I'm talking about them now and is hoping that they're being a distraction from the truth that I'm about to speak to. And that's why Lobdell Place is going to be federally prosecuted, while third parties like Waste Management engaged in that same criminal conduct. Sunlight is never ricocheting off of the side of your car, especially not the driver's side of your vehicle, moving across the gate, such as Lobdell Place at 10:46 in the morning, especially when you are looking at what is the maintenance of a light source, which is not possibly the sun, at the same time when you're looking at the state engaging in this state system. Just like you see this demonic activity, this is what's underway in Ontario, California. So I'm going to continue to use this because you're understanding what is analysis regarding same time of year, what is regarding the same exact time. And you're looking at, I want you to look at this. You're going to juxtapose what this demon just engaged in at 1826. This is a demon driving by 1826 Lobdell Place. This is a demon that's keeping their back while they're stalking someone else. This is revealing the mental illness of this demon-possessed population, engaging in criminal surveillance, engaging in federal group stalking and monitoring, getting out and going to the venue that they were originally crossing path. Let me be clear, these demons will open their doors and go in and exercise control while they're being documented. Whether they live there or not, they're the people of the state. They are going to federal prison. 1826 routinely used as a means of terrorism, while engineered light is never going to exist. You're looking at this right here. That's engineered light stationary on the gate while that demon is monitoring still. Okay, so while you're looking at the light source that's hovering over me, you're understanding what is the same demonic conduct that you're looking at Third parties such as, let me move this out the way so you can see. Third parties such as Universal Waste, while engineered light is moving across building 1818. While you're looking at third parties such as group stalkers that are living at a venue such as Vanessa Dries of 1812 North Alvarado Street. While you're looking at engineered light appearing on my ceiling, this here, this is the engineered light moving across 1826 while this demon is pacing back and forth to their vehicle. And while I make them an example, this demon is now loitering in relevant position. And these are the mentally ill that are engaging in what is state surveillance on behalf of the state. What you're going to focus on is the environment that's incriminating the incrimination of the state of California while they engage in that ongoing concerted act of terrorism. That's a documented act of terrorism. You're going to zoom in on what that demon was doing while they're driving by 1826, and you'll see impossible light activity. Let me zoom out so you can see the light source. And you'll see the source that is over me. And I'm starting this video at 10:46 in the morning because this is not possibly the sun, nor is that sunlight that coexists ricocheting off of a side of a car while you're underneath the sun, driving by any location. That's the pattern. Let me be clear. That's the outward demonstration, first of all, is demon possession, the confession of a stalker. The demon possessed are stalking in the path with engineered light. That's why you have engineered light on inside of the depths of my bedroom. And then you are witnessing the psychopath that knows that it's being documented because they're engaging in criminal surveillance, and then they get out engaging in what is more demonic pacing in that engineered light, which is further confirming the ongoing stalker and sex offender that all of the entity are, because you're looking at the light source that's hovering over me, identifying one who is targeting you through that impossible light activity under the light source, which is not possibly the sun that's remaining for me as a matter of documentation, while the state of California, acting via the Ontario Fire Department, American Medical Responses, are demons driving ambulances, and the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department documented kidnappers, demons, just like this one here, driving a third vehicle. This is the third party acting on behalf of the state, and I'm showing you at the same time, this is the entity that's engaging in what is the ongoing confession. This is evidence against the entirety of a people that are engaged in state surveillance. Engineered light moving across 1826 is the ongoing confession of the entity that's keeping you under surveillance, and never is that naturally occurring. It is engineered light. It is that ongoing or demonstration of demon possession, and this is occurring under what's not possibly the sun. At the same time, the light source is for me at 2301 South Euclid Avenue. Okay, so not only is what you're seeing here not occurring, this is not occurring under the sun, nor is that sunlight, nor is that natural sunlight. In the same way, it's not sunlight that's appearing on my ceilings, appearing and disappearing, appearing through closed blinds, magnified in size, creating multiple shadows, showing the shadow of these trees on the ceiling when I open and close my door. Recall all the documentation that you've seen. That's the engineered light. That's for purposes of criminal surveillance by a demon at that, on behalf of a whole entity who was acting in concert with LAPD. Documented engagement in what is pacing, psychotic pacing, outwardly demonstrating their demon possession for 47 minutes, flying in front of my apartment. This is the environment which is speaking to the prosecution of an entire state, and all 59 units here are going to federal prison. This is evidence that's going to be used against Kim Jong, who's group stalking by living at the crime scene on behalf of the state, and the evidence of that is the main of this light source in an entirely different region at the same time. So you're understanding what's impossible on all accounts. Not only is sunlight not ricocheting off of the side of your car while you're driving under the alleged sun, it's not even the evidence demonstrating that it's the natural environment. It is indeed, as I have referred to it, a light source speaking to what is an ongoing crime committed by a public entity in concert with all of those in relevant position. I'm referencing what is group stalking in a very specific environment, and it is unnatural light, and it is the maintenance of a light source for the duration of the day, which is also being exhibited while I remain here in Los Angeles. It is mutually exclusive to the sun, to the light source that you see over my head at 2301 South Euclid Avenue at 10:46 in the morning, which is when I started this video for purposes of prosecuting the state that's engaging in an ongoing sex offense while I remain inside of my private space. Let me point out something else before you look at the light source again. In the same way that you saw that the people of the state group stalking driving by third-party facilitating venue 1826 Lobdell Place, this is the ongoing sex offense, the ongoing real-time knowledge, the joint criminal and demonic attention that is paid to one person, that is myself, and you see it exhibited in the environment. You see it exhibited in the audible activity. That was a demon creating noise as I point my arm out, and as I pull my arm back, that audible activity stops. These are demons that are jointly engaging in what is ongoing attention to one person, which is a perpetual sex offense that a government's going to be prosecuted for, and it's going to be sliced down by name. Engaging in a sex offense on behalf of a public entity, and that's going to be an exceedingly violent sex offense that's going on the criminal records of those here at Alvarado Gardens that are going to federal prison. The people of the state are going to be subject to a federal prosecution. This is not the sun that's over me. nor is that possibly sunlight that's covering all their property, nor is that sunlight that's ricocheting off of cars while the demon-possessed are continuously pacing by to communicate a threat. That threat is not only going to be the grounds, the ongoing substance of that federal prosecution, it's also going to be the ongoing admission against a whole state, speaking to and what connects, what is creating, reveals a system of criminal monitoring with communication on the venue of the internet. This same demonic behavior that you just saw exhibited at 1826 North Lobdell Place, that is impossible light coexisting with the demon that's crossing path, which is group stalking. They're also engaged in what is federal stalking on the venue of the internet in violation of Title 18. And everything that I'm looking at on my phone, everything that I'm going to, every time I go to my bank account, every time I'm looking at my balances, every time I'm using my credit card, opening up my emails, every time I'm looking at what are the social security numbers and the identifying information of the third parties that are federal housing applicants and federal housing recipients. This same entity that just provided what is an admission against all of the entity by virtue of crossing paths with that impossible light activity coexisting and the maintenance of this light source over me while you're looking at that impossible occurrence and the maintenance of the light source in an entirely different region at the same time. Exhibit A, the entity is maintaining what is an ongoing, this is grounds of an ongoing, this is grounds for what is an additional grounds for federal prosecution. That's what I'm getting to. Federal prosecution under the HUD housing laws, which Joan Kim and all of the rest of the people of the state are going to be ripe for. That's grounds for federal prosecution, also to incriminate the people of the state. And so that is all that is revealed while you're looking at demon go out of their way to admit that they're group stalking you. And that's what the demon possessed are doing. Okay, while you're walking underneath the light source, you're engaged in group stalking. And that's Jung Pak. Okay, that 80-some-odd-year-old woman, she's going to federal prison. The entity is engaged in an ongoing admission while you're looking at that phenomenon happen over and over and over again. As you know, sunlight that's shooting down at a downward trajectory does not somehow ricochet on the side of your car. So let's look at it because this is very common sense. The sunlight that's shooting downward, and you know that you look at the shadow underneath my hand, because the sun light is shooting on top of your hand, hence the shadow underneath. When you're hitting the top of a car, you're not hitting the side of a car such that light is going to ricochet off the side. This is common sense. This is not rocket science. That was capturing what is the ongoing connection of all of those in that environment, and it is serving for what is criminal presence in a specific environment for purpose of what is mass surveillance. They're monitoring on communication devices, and while they're keeping a property management under surveillance, you are at the same time violating federal housing policies while you are monitoring on my communication device. The state of California, the people of the state, specifically even down to police departments, are going to be prosecuted for the corporate invasion of privacy, the ongoing sex offense that they're engaging in while engaging in what is federal group stalking and monitoring, the ongoing knowledge of any and everything, including my credit cards, including any and everything that I'm looking at on the internet that you have no warrant or probable cause to have any access to. You cannot search someone's cell phone without having the legal grounds to do so. In the same way, you cannot keep one under surveillance and have unlawfully maintaining on an ongoing basis what's going on in my cell phone. And this is inherently violated while you're keeping one under surveillance. And let me be clear, every video that I'm capturing, the audible activity of the entity group talking by helicopter, flying over my apartment with simultaneity to what I'm doing on the internet, using my internet connected devices for purposes of stalking with audible activity while you're looking at engineered lights surround me inside of the private space. This is how you're engaging what is an ongoing system. While demons, just like you saw, crossing path at 1826 Lobdell, that is speaking to what they're all doing. Ongoing corporate invasion of privacy, ongoing sex offense committed by those that are engaging in that invasion of privacy in a private space. And it is readily identifiable through the specific environment that is not possibly over 2301 South Euclid Avenue, where the state of California is directly documented engaging in what is group stalking. Again, this is the most pathetic posture that law enforcement and state actors that are affiliated with the state of California can be caught in. And this is exactly what's happening. So how does the analysis go? While the sun is directly over my head in this same position, while I'm at 1806 North Alvarado Street, apartment number 6, it's directly over my head in Los Angeles. And it's directly over my head at 231 South Euclid Avenue at the same time. I started this video at 10:46 in the morning. There is, again, while it's over that hotel room, while I'm facing very exclusive sky space, in the same way I'm facing exclusive sky space here too. I'm facing the east. All right, and at 2301 South Euclid Avenue, I'm at Economy Inn, which I cannot, just like I cannot hear, I can't see any other sky space behind me. And in Ontario, I cannot see any sky space behind me either. I'm facing the 60 freeway in the city of Ontario, and that is speaking to the light source that's directly above me, and this is in no way the shared sky space. This is not over the 2301 South Euclid Avenue, Economy Inn in Ontario, facing the 60 freeway. It's not the shared sky space. And it also follows that there is under no circumstances going to be any there will never be any sunlight that's ricocheting off of the side of your car to move across 1826 Lobdell Place or building 1818 North Alvarado Street or the asphalt in the parking lot of 1818, North Alvarado Street, which is Alvarado Gardens. Driving on the asphalt will not create that light activity. Driving by a building will not create that light activity. And this is speaking to what is having nothing to do with the sun and having nothing to do with sunlight, but it has everything to do with what is group stalking. That's the pattern of conduct that's underway. Audible activity, relevant positioning, light activity under the light source. That's what you're listening to, I'm looking at. Everybody here is going to federal prison, and this is a sex offender. Okay? It is currently, by the way, while you're looking at this criminal act, this is exactly what the state is engaging in. The state is acting directly at Economy Inn.
P.O.C. That is Ontario Fire Department. That's AMR, license 08813H as in Henry 2.
These are demons. Demons of the Ontario Fire Department, demons of the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and demons of American Medical Response. These are demons, by the way, that are engaging in what are targeting someone, state surveillance, in concert with the state that uses helicopters. They act together as one. The entity is standing around in a parking lot, engaging in what is stalking and a sex offense, keeping me under surveillance while they're just, you see them standing around conversing in the parking lot. The moment that I go out, I start capturing video. This is when they start packing up and leaving. They're still monitoring and doing so. You see the fire department, he opens up his door, engineered light moves across the asphalt. This is exactly what you see exhibited by this demon that's driving next to 1826 Lobdell Place, and impossible light activity moves across. All right, that's impossible light activity. It's the demonstration of demon possession. This is what you see the state in, and this is somebody that is in a position of being a firefighter. This is the state, and they are going to be removed from those positions. They are revealing mental illness. This is highly psychotic and malicious behavior, targeting one person, wearing a uniform, wearing a badge, wanting to appear, hiding behind the use of their state vehicles, wanting to engage in what is hiding behind their outward appearance when they are in every way engaging in what is not only perverted, it is psychotic, and it is obsessive, and it is born of what is their demon possession altogether. And while you're looking at that light activity that you just saw outside of my apartment in Los Angeles, the light source is over me here in Los Angeles in the same position in its zenith at 10:46 in the morning, by the way. The entity is maintaining this light source over me in an entirely different region. And you're also going to see what is impossible light activity on the ground while a demon opens up a fire truck. This is P.O.C.
Light activity, loitering relevant position. That's the fake sun right here on my way. This is P.O.C. They're all just loitering in relevant position. This is the Sheriff's Department.
They're all sitting around being demons. They know exactly what I'm doing inside of my hotel room as I pull my panties down, as I'm walking around inside of my hotel room, as I'm on television, which the television is a communication device which Spectrum was controlling, using as a means to not only harass, but to engage in the demonic pattern of using it as a means of audible and light activity as you make any move, as you fall asleep, as you wake up, using that communication device as a means of monitoring inside on behalf of the people of the state and on behalf of the state. This is what's going on inside of my apartment while the demon possessed the Ontario Fire Department, the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department, and American Medical Response, demons that engage in what are criminal summoning on an ongoing basis, which is also massive facilitation. The people of the state are monitoring while these demons driving state vehicles are sounding sirens and driving around under a light source, being psychopaths, being demon-possessed psychopaths in positions that they are going to be removed from and exposed as the demon-possessed population that will be summarily removed from those positions. This is what's going on, and this is what they know. And once I start pointing out fingers and pointing out the environment, then they start packing up. Let me be clear. They are in no way refraining from the crime. While they're moving around, it's light activity. While they start moving their vehicles, it's light activity. While you even see the demon that is Ontario Fire Department open the door, that's light activity, and that demon is still monitoring. Okay? This is P.O.C.
This is the state by AMR. This is the state by Ontario Fire Department. That is a psychopath, a sex offender, and a demon-possessed group stalker. They're
okay, so I want to make sure that you can see that. All right? You can never get this example too much. I want you to see it again. It's impossible light activity right here. Hold on. I need you to pay. This is impossible light activity right here on the ground, framing the fire truck. That is not sunlight. That's not a reflection of the metal-faced fire vehicle. The entity does that whether you have a rubber bumper or whether it's a brown vehicle like UPS. It does not matter what the car, this is light activity. And by the way, sunlight is not ricocheting off of your car, creating the shape of the object of whatever it's hitting. That's the engineered light. That's the engineered light. This is the pattern of conduct. And while this demon is opening up the door of the fire truck, he is still monitoring, and this is the outward demonstration of what is a demon that is in the position of government. So I want you to see a close-up of this. This is what you just saw, the people of the state, and you're understanding the demon possessed. The state is acting directly. That demon driving that truck going by third-party facilitating venue 1826 Lobdell in Los Angeles. This is the same outward demonstration of demon possession, the ongoing admission of a demon that is group stalking you. How do you know that? You're recognizing the targeting through the environment, not only through that impossible occurrence with that light activity, but also while the light source is hovering over me. It's directly over my head. And that's not possibly the sun that's over me at 231 South Euclid Avenue in Ontario, where the entity kept the light source all day, even setting it at that same address. This is already published documentation, and you see what the entity is doing here. So there's no sun that's over the economy in while it's rising here in LA and staying over my apartment, if not my leasing office, until it sets through in alignment to me in the evening. And it's the same in the opposite direction. The entity was rising and setting the sun. All right. That's not the sun at one address. That's the light source. And it remained around me, while demons such as the Ontario Fire Department are documented sex offenders engaging in the perpetual sex offense, knowledge of when my panties are down, being demons pacing all around under that light source because they are so obsessed. This obsession is born of their condition, which you cannot physically see, but you are looking at it being demonstrated to you through their conduct in the specific environment. In every way focused on another person that they are keeping under surveillance, and they're doing so hiding their identity, masquerading as being something other than what they are: pathetic, criminal, sexually perverted, obsessed, psychotic. And these are all the descriptions based on their criminal conduct. Okay, when you're stalking somebody flying in a circle for 47 minutes, that is on its face very disturbing. While you are aware of the fact that somebody is stalking you, hiding in your bushes every day, and you continue to hide in their bushes, that's clearly a disturbed stalker. That's tantamount to what the state of California is doing on an ongoing basis. Okay, you are established as a stalker and you continue to do that. This is why, understand, federal group stalking and monitoring, that federal prosecution, it is required. All right, it is axiomatic that your mind state is a part of the prosecution, and not the mind state of the targeted individual that's being subject to surveillance by the state. The group stalker's mind state is going to be relevant to that prosecution. You are inherently mentally disturbed, and not one that doesn't know right from wrong. You're a malicious actor. This is public corruption. You are of that sociopathic, psychotic mental illness state. That's what's revealed, and it will be requiring what are mental examinations, where you are also going to be removed from those positions, and it's going to be public information about what you did as a public entity, how and who you did it with, and that is the people of the state who will also be subject to federal prosecution. I want you to look at this light activity. This is what you saw outside right now when I'm here in LA.
Sex offender and a demon-possessed group stalker. They're monitoring.
Okay,
that's POC.
That's POC, and that's the light activity. You're looking at Mion Clemens. This is a demon on a cane. While she's creeping and crawling on the sidewalk, walking underneath me, she's monitoring. And she's a sex offender that knows that I'm outside documenting, so she's taking her turn and engaging in the group stalking, because she does this in plain sight, which is what all the people of the state are doing all the time. While the specific environment remains, that level of impunity, that's why Mion Clemens, her and her cane, are going to federal prison. Okay? I don't know if she's allowed to take her cane or not, but my point is, she can be heaped over with an arched back, with a hump back. She's going to federal prison. You're looking at what's the threat to the target individual. That demon that's on a cane is acting in concert with the psychopaths and the sex offenders and the demon-possessed agency, the LAPD. Or this is the same entity that's walking around crawling on a cane right now, monitoring you. And this is the same entity that engaged in an assault and battery in that same specific environment. You are not looking at the physical condition of that demon-possessed third party. You're looking at what is the ongoing criminal act perpetrated against an American citizen that has a right to not be subject to it. And you are looking at the state. That's what the Ontario Fire Department represents. That's what American Medical Response represents. And that's what the San Bernardino Sheriff's Department represents. And San Bernardino County is here as well. That's San Bernardino County wearing the black face mask and the black jacket. And they are here group stalking together. This is state surveillance. This is a matter of public corruption. They're acting in concert with the people. Everybody at that hotel is monitoring me as well. Everybody that's driving on the 60 freeway is systematically monitoring. That's why the light source is over me. Okay. This is everybody that's driving on Euclid Avenue. Which is the traffic surrounding. They're all monitoring. This is a massive sex offense, corporate invasion of privacy. And this is why you're looking at in Los Angeles when I'm showing you engineering that's being maintained inside of my apartment. This is why you're maintaining this environment at all times of the day. All right. And doing things such as controlling the communication devices inside for purposes of maintaining that environment. And the demons such as Meon Clemens, who you see walking by on a cane, that is the demon that is surrounding in relevant position inside of my apartment, an ongoing course as though somebody is above me. There's nobody above me. I'm on the 3rd floor. So the ongoing violation of my quiet enjoyment, which I also have a right to, this is going to be the criminal prosecution and civil grounds of draining the pockets of speaker companies, criminally facilitating the state's criminal system. You are inherently deprived of your right to quiet enjoyment while the entity is engaged in what is a psychotic pattern, which on its face, LAPD stalking in a helicopter is violation of your quiet enjoyment. Speaker companies and Todd Speaker, they are third parties. This is the state. They're acting in concert. And how do you know that? Because the light source is remaining over my apartment. So you're not exercising any independent rights. This is not the operation of a business. You're a third party maliciously acting in concert with that state. Directly documented while the LAPD, while those diaper-wearing demons are systematically, you're talking about tons of times, documented over a series of months, flying directly over my head, flying over my apartment, flying in circles over my apartment, flying in circles all around my apartment, flying over, doing laps over me and over my apartment and where I work for the duration of the day, all night, all day. That's a violation of your quiet enjoyment while you're engaged in what is the state's criminal system. While the entity is surrounding me with demons who are engaged in the demonic pattern of conduct. The ongoing sounding of booming and banging as though somebody lives above. Nobody lives above me. I'm on the 3rd floor. That's entirely demonic. It's terrorism. And it's also going to be the grounds of civil prosecution. I'm going to drain the pockets of speaker companies. And Todd Speaker, by virtue of this being his property where the criminal system is underway, by this being the property management company where this criminal system is facilitated, by all those, including the state, LAPD, including those third parties such as Meon Clemens, living on the grounds, engaging in what is federal stalking and the criminal system of surveillance together. That's going to be what is the establishing Todd Speaker as a third-party group stalker. He the same. He's going to be placed on the list maintained by the Department of Justice. You are a group stalker not only by being in relevant position, group stalking with the state. You're facilitating group stalking. You're a group stalker. Any provision of facilitation, that's how you're going to be prosecuted. And so what you're looking at, that ongoing light activity, that light source over my apartment at 10:46 in the morning, it does not in any way coexist or jive with what the state was doing on April 6, 2021, same time of year at the same time, and the light source is remaining over me in the same way. Under no circumstances is the sun, even as you analyze it at both addresses, going to create the light activity that you see this demon with the Ontario Fire Department exhibit while they're opening and closing the door. This is demonic light activity, stalking in the path with light. That's what you saw underway at 1826 Lobdell Place. It's the ongoing connection of it's an inextricable link to showing what is a system that's underway. And it's inextricable because it's inextricably linked because it's impossible light activity. It's never naturally occurring. The entity engages in it, and the entity also has the ability to refrain from engaging in it. It's never naturally occurring. And this is also a well-documented pattern as well.
This is P.O.C., all right? And they are present acting with the third parties. Understand, they've been loitering for the entire time. As I get out and get video,
this is all light activity. They're all monitoring while they're moving their cars, beeping the light activity.
They've been loitering, not moving their vehicles the entire time I've been in my room. This is P.O.C., okay? 2301 South.
Okay, the 60 freeway in the background, that's means of systematic monitoring. You're subject to this level of invasion of privacy, and it's a demon-possessed population. And how do you know this again? The light activity. That's impossible light activity. All right, this is indicative of what's going on a massive scale. When you're monitoring, you are also engaged in the federal offense of facilitation of monitoring. In other words, you're enabling everybody else to engage in group stalking with you, and you're enabling the state to engage in that. That's a federal offense, a very serious one. And it's also a sex offense because I'm inside of a hotel room. The entity is engaging in this conduct, and I want you to see while they're reversing their vehicles and beeping, they're all monitoring on their way out, okay? They're still engaging in the criminal system in plain sight. light, that's an unlawful threat to your life, okay? This is the same entity that will kidnap you and claim that you have some 5150 emergency, making up information that you're going to harm yourself or someone else. And this is either upon the criminally defaming claims of a third party, by the way, who's group stalking with the state, or the state itself that's literally just making up that information, and it goes unquestioned because of the identity of the actor. It is the state. Okay, so this is the entity abusing, again, the Welfare and Institutions Code for purposes of this state system. This is why they're going to be removed. This is the threat to your life and your liberty and your safety. While you're looking at these demons, these same ones that are abusing the existing law, and they're monitoring. They are monitoring. This is a demon. Documented kidnapper, by the way. The Ontario Fire Department acted with the Ontario Police Department kidnapping me. Abusing the Welfare and Institutions Code. Kidnapping me to the San Antonio Regional Hospital in Upland, California, and I'm going to kidnap them. I was kidnapped by them, and I'm going to prosecute them. They engaged in a kidnapping, and then they kept me there against my will, and then they engaged in a sexual assault and battery, stripping me nude in front of a group of men while they were abusing the Welfare and Institutions Code, having no basis whatsoever. This was all the criminal system that was underway. And these are the group stalkers that engage in that kidnapping system. What I want to show you is not only is this light activity, so this is the evidence. This is what I wanted to get. The entity's maintaining the light source over me. This is not the sun that's over me right now as I'm standing out front of my apartment. This is 2301 South Euclid Avenue. What you just saw over my head, I'm at 1806 North Alvarado Street in Los Angeles. Period. At this same address, the entity is maintaining a light source for the duration of the day. And this is what I've documented at 231 South Euclid Avenue. So, give me 1 second. Let me mute my television up while I do instructions. I am looking to see if I have it on my phone. Okay, I have it, but I don't have it on here. Nonetheless, I was going to show you the video evidence that I already have published of the sun rising, and that's the light source, obviously not the sun. The light source, and I put that in air quotes, rising at that same address, 2301 South Euclid Avenue. That's fine. I don't have it here. It's already published evidence. Nonetheless, you're looking at the light source in its zenith over my head in Ontario, California, while I'm facing the 60 freeway, and it's over my head here in Los Angeles. What I want to show you is the ongoing video evidence of what is the entity's pattern of stalking with light. And so you're going to see this. This is a system. It's impossible light activity, and I have documented it tons and tons of times. It is showing what is a crime perpetrated by a government acting in concert with the multiplicity of faces. This is the population. This is the people of the state. And you're seeing it. You're literally witnessing it while a random, and I put that in air quotes, a random, there is no random. All of them are the same entity. It's everywhere that you go. It is everyone. And you know that because of the unnatural environment that surrounds. It is demonic activity. It is a demon-possessed population. And this is captured March 1st, 2021. And this is revealing the impossible light activity while third parties are crossing path in traffic. This is P.O.C. This is an ongoing molestation. It's documented terrorism. It's impossible light activity. It's moving across the depths in the shade, across the building, and across my person. This is every single car, every single vehicle that drives by. This is an impossible occurrence. Okay, now this is while I'm standing in the shade. We saw that yesterday. This is while I'm standing in the shade. All right. And you're looking at what has nothing to do. It has nothing to do with the sun. And you also know the separate analysis. I've analyzed this from every angle. That's not even the sun. It's not possibly the sun. I refer to it as a light source because the sun is speaking to, in reference to the natural environment. That is not what surrounds me. And also sunlight does not ricochet off of the side of your car while you're under the sun. And also into the depths of the shade. You're looking at what is concentrated engineered light, which is what demons demons are doing. Demons are stalking in your path. Your group stalking while you're driving by the target individual. That's called crossing path, coexisting with engineered light. I'm standing in the shades. They are supplementing for the absence of engineered light with the appearance of this engineered light that's even manifesting in the shade. It's an ongoing sex offense. The entity is molesting your person for the criminal purpose of keeping you under surveillance. And that presence of that ongoing phenomenon is what is connecting an entire state system. This is occurring any and everywhere that you go. I want to show you another example, and it is purely demonic. While you were looking at that conduct, what you're talking about traffic, that's one of the systematic means of the entity engaging in this criminal system. And it is demonic activity. That's what you saw occurring while a demon, that's a third party group stalker that knows exactly where I'm at, that's targeting me. It's an impossible occurrence. And the light source, which is not possibly the sun, is over my head. That's understanding what is a third party that's targeting someone else, keeping their back to you. That's a psychopath. Engaging in what is appearing like they're focused on some other activity, in everything that they're doing. Walking back and forth from the truck back to the gate of 1826, that demon is pacing, monitoring me. That's a psychopath. You're understanding the mental illness of those that are engaging in this criminal system. And you recognize plainly when I'm breaking down the scene that surrounds me everywhere, every day, as I've documented it, you're recognizing what is the malice of the demon possessed. So that's how you're recognizing what was literally an admission while that entity did that. And that is indeed an entity that drove by 1826 Lobdell, and that engineered light is coexisting with it. And the more that they do it, you saw them reverse and backwards. That's what Satan does. Satan can do it once. Satan can do it 37 times. It is equally impossible. Okay. And that's exactly what you saw this third party failing at demonstrating. And I'm just letting you know what is their demented mind state. Oh, she caught that on camera. Okay, well, I'm just going to do it again because if I felt like I was caught doing something, then I would stop doing it, right? Oh, no, I'm not scared that I got caught doing this because this is normal. This is the demented mind state of the demon possessed. This is exactly what these demons are thinking. Capturing the impossible one time, you only need to capture it one time. And doing it 57 times, it is equally impossible. So you're going to flip that malice and that psychotic behavioral pattern, and you're going to prosecute for terrorism and impunity. And that goes to how long you're going to that mental facility or how long you're going to sit in federal prison and be subject to mental examinations. That's what you're going to meet the demon-possessed population with, because you're witnessing serious mental illness while they're targeting someone else. I want you to show you another demonic, another demonic example of what is stalking with light by a third party.
Of repeated flying directly over. This is amplified audible activity, serves the purpose of massive monitoring. This is being in the path. All right, and this is just one. They are monitoring through all traffic. They come across here. That's amplified train. Audible activity, same as a plane. This is crossing path. Note the light activity. On no time, in no way, is ever light.
Okay, so I'm going to slow that down so that you can see that again. That was very, very demonic. And it's absolutely impossible. Okay, this is terrorism by an entity. What you just saw, this is what LAPD is engaged in. This is what LAPD, the state of California, is engaging in. And this is how the state of California, this is what LAPD is facilitating in concert with demons that you're seeing driving by buildings in impossible light, driving by the gate of 1826 in impossible light, driving on the asphalt in impossible lights driving on the asphalt, and the engineered light is appearing beside and underneath and behind vehicles. That's not sunlight. It's the same pattern. This is what you saw UPS engage in, and then UPS again arrives, and that's the entity. You're understanding, and the commercial name is nothing other than a specific means of identifying the entity. And it is an entity because you're looking at the same phenomenon occurring. It doesn't matter whether it's a commercial actor. It doesn't matter whether it's a group stalker that lives next door to me. It doesn't matter if it's a third-party group stalker that I just capture in traffic. You're looking at what's the same ongoing pattern, and this is what creates the inextricable link. I want to show you not only is this criminal surveillance occurring in the state of California, but it's demonic. It is of darkness. And this is what's covering an entity that uses helicopters to stalk you. So you're driving your truck by me, and there is never under any circumstances, whether you want to do it 73 times in a row to show that you're not scared to be captured engaging in that, so as to suggest that it's normal and possible, or because you're not scared to be captured in it. So that speaks to the fact that it's not a crime then. This is what these psychopaths are actually thinking in their minds. Okay, and none of it is logical. That's a failed syllogism at the outset. It is revealing what is their secret that they really do not want to be known. And then you're witnessing what is ongoing hostility as I expose it. And I'm also teaching you what's the legal relevance of it and how do you prosecute that. Okay, so this is not demonic activity that I'm just telling you, I'm seeing it in the spirit, and then you don't have any proof of knowing what it is that I'm talking about. No, you're looking at it through the light activity. This is demonic activity, and you can see it exhibited in the environment while they engage in group stalking.
This is crossing path. Note the light activity on no time. And
okay, so this is the light activity. I don't know if you can see it when I slow it down like this, but the light is moving across the bushels. I don't think you can see it like that. So I'm gonna just press play so you can see it.
That's the state directing light. This is crossing path. Note the light activity on no time and no way is ever
okay,
light
so
naturally
it's like a hook-shaped
across,
light.
like you see.
Hold on. It's like a large hook that's moving, it's light in the shape of a large hook, and it's swiping across the bushels, swiping across the surfaces right there. That's demonic. I want to let you know that's out of the pit of hell. That is the outward demonstration of demon possession. That is a demon, in other words, that's crossing path, coexisting with what is engineered light. The light source is over my head. I didn't include this in this video, but the entity that was targeting me with this demonic method of light, terrorizing me, repeatedly molesting me, this is what I was focusing on. And the entity was openly engaging in this. And this is an entity that intends to terrorize you. And then this is also the entity that does not anticipate the fact that that very evidence is going to be used to prosecute and show what is a massive system that's underway in the state. And it includes sheriff's departments, police departments, ambulance, EMT operators, and the entity is doing so, and it is indiscriminate of the identity. You're recognizing all the demons collectively in the environment that targets me. The light source is over my head. Everybody around is group stalking. It is literally that simple. Okay, I've gone to the extent to show you this is what you're looking at. This is what you're looking at. This is what it looks like. This is what they'll do. It's all occurring in that environment, and it's present day and night. And so I want to show you this again. This is already published documentation. It's December 29, 2020. That's amplified plane activity. The entity is group stalking by commercial airline planes. The light source is over my head. This is how you know that they're stalking with commercial airline planes. Everything that you're hearing, everything that you're seeing are the elements of monitoring. Okay? The entity is group stalking using commercial airline planes and helicopter, but these are the elements that are underway in this video. The entity uses a plane, the audible activity of that plane. The light source is over my head, which you can kind of see right here. You can see this illumination right here beside this bushel. The light source is right here. And the entity is group stalking while a third party is crossing path with engineered light that moves around me, which is absolutely terrorizing to the ordinary target individual. And there is no vocabulary to describe that. The entity's criminal system is designed to falsely depict the targeted individual who even seeks to report it as or alleges that the government is stalking them or that people that they don't know are stalking them. Understand, on its face, it sounds diluted. And let me be clear, that is implicating the entity's mind state, not the targeted individual's mind state, because it's very real. All right. It's called malice. The state's malice.
Here you are. This is the state engaging in what I am speaking of. Repeated flying directly over. This is amplified audible activity. Serves the purpose of massive monitoring. This is being in the path. All right, and this is just one. They are monitoring through all traffic.
It's poor quality because it was captured on
That's
Facebook Live.
amplified train. So. Audible activity, same as a plane. This is crossing path. Note the light activity. On no time and no way is ever light naturally going to
that's
be
the
shooting
P.O.C.
across.
Okay, so that's what you see exhibited while a third party here in Los Angeles is crossing path, driving by 1826 Lobdell Place, and you're looking at light activity moving across the building. It's the same pattern. This is what you're witnessing while I'm inside of my bedroom and engineered light is appearing and disappearing on my ceiling. Okay, this is the pattern of conduct. And you're looking at an ongoing combination of elements, light activity, this engineered light, this peculiar light, this impossible light activity as I have described it, coexisting with an environment that is on its face. It is scientifically impossible that the sun is present. First of all, in its zenith over my head, everywhere that I go all day long, no matter if I stay at one place all day or no matter if I'm traveling, which is what I did when I would go from the Inland Empire area to Los Angeles on the Metrolink. The light source remained over me on the train into LA and then on back to the Inland Empire. At no time was the sun rising and setting over my apartment at 1806 North Alvarado Street. That does not coexist. In addition, the sun is not maintaining zenith presence over everyone all day, no matter where you're at, if you don't want to accept the notion of a targeted individual, okay? But this is not about what you want anymore. This is evidence speaking to what is irreducible and insurmountable, speaking to the reality of those who are targeting. And how are you recognizing the targeted individual? It is captured through the environment and the behavior of those, and these are psychopaths. This is the demon possessed who are keeping their back to you, and everything about what they're doing is focused on you. They are obsessed with you. Okay, this is revealing the mental illness of this population, and these mentally ill, these that are of that mental illness are with the sheriff's departments. They're with the police departments. They are within these hospitals. They're in the medical field. They're EMT professionals, and they're kidnapping for purposes of silencing, engaging in what is psychological torture to the extent, to the degree that the ordinary target individual may even engage in taking their own life. You're going to prosecute for that. Okay. That's psychotic. It's sick. And this is how you end up with police departments, so obsessed that you're stalking me in a helicopter because you don't want me to create an Apple account. I'm not even capturing video of you right now. It's psychotic. This is what you're devoting. A police department, they have plenty of things that they should be focused on. There's supposedly so much important things, crime that's actually happening. They're actually engaging in the crime. They're the criminals. This is what they're devoting their time and their resources to. This is where the money is going. Okay? It's very expensive to live in Los Angeles. I want to let you know what you're paying for. You're paying for the state that's engaged in state surveillance. It takes a lot of resources to keep all these helicopters gassed up 24 hours a day, to utilize all these resources that are devoted to this criminal system, while also trying to maintain the appearance of a system of crime fighting and the resources of these hospitals and everything that they're needing. They're monitoring here. This is state surveillance that's underway, and it costs a lot of money. Okay. And the people of the state are directly engaging in it, and they're facilitating it. Okay, so I just want to point that out. That's the ongoing unmistakable pattern. And you literally had a demon-possessed entity, because that wasn't an individual that drove by 1826. The state of California is keeping me under surveillance, and the state of California acts through every single last person. And these demons are engaging in a massive sex offense. So the entity is maintaining ongoing audible activity, and I'm going to prosecute for the violation of my right to quiet enjoyment while these demon-possessed, this demon-possessed entity, which is the state acting in concert with the people, are engaged in ongoing chorus of noise with every move that I make. Every single last move that I make, everything that I'm doing on a communication device. It is as psychotic as this light activity that you see. This is what they're doing while I'm inside. And that's the ongoing engagement in a sex offense committed by government. It shall be recognized under federal law. Okay? It is currently, again, 11:33 a.m. And this is P.O.C.